is a massive match. What's the mindset approaching this one?
Yeah, I mean, externally I've read a bit already, but I mean internally it is all about processes for us. It's another game of football. We can't get caught up in the hype that's surrounding it because you lose focus on what's important. I mean, every game now is a challenge and it's a really even competition. We're excited to be getting down to the SCG again and the MCG, sorry, and taking on the Hawks, and it's going to be a huge game, obviously.
What's the biggest challenge with Hawthorn? Do you find is it their midfield, their forward line?
Yeah, cause, I mean they're so well balanced. I mean that's why they've been such a good side for a long time. You know, they've got some really strong, experienced players there, but they've got some youth coming through as well. Some high power runners on the wings, and we need to be able to stop them all over the ground. You can't really focus too much on one or two individuals. It's a real team focus. So that's probably their strength and why they've been so good.
Have you spoken about the grand final at all this week, and do you think Horse will?
No, we haven't. We honestly haven't. And you know, what happened last year is done and dusted. We've dealt with the hurt and the disappointment of that. But I mean, this is a new year. It's you know, people talk about grand final replays, and I've heard Horse talking about it. The reality is there isn't. There are no grand final replays. They won the competition last year. They were too good. We're firmly focused on this year and making sure we put all our efforts into week in, week out results.
With your midfielders, Parker, Kennedy, Hanbury in top form, do you feel like they're in as good a shape as ever to prove themselves against Hawks?
Yeah, they've been in great form. Our whole midfield group, and you throw in Tom Mitchell now to that mix as well. I think he's added a different dimension in there as well. So it's probably something we spoke about at the start of the year, having more variety that can go through there and getting more numbers to that midfield group. It is so important to have a really strong engine room and not rely up to 2 or 3 individuals. So to have strength and weight of numbers through there, it's pleasing to see. I know they'll be itching to get out there Saturday.
You're buying into the notion that there's some sort of a curse developing with the Hawks having, you know, won 5 of the last 6 over you guys?
No, certainly not. It's the first I've heard of the curse. So, you know, they won last year in the grand final. We beat them in 2012 too. So it's no curse there.
The complexion of the game, though, it doesn't mean it's just another game. I mean, it's not like you're going up a bottom of the rung team. You know, you're going up against the powerhouse of the competition.
Well, if you believe all the hype that's surrounding it, you can get caught up in it. I don't think you can afford to. I think if you afford to get caught up in, it's Hawthorn, it's a huge match, and you lose focus. For us, it's all about process, making sure we deliver on things that we want to do, and that's what we'll do today. I mean, we'll train to a game plan that we know can perform for us if we deliver, and that's all we worry about.
Have you looked at the way teams like GWS and Port have exploited them so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, you do your scouting every week, and we've certainly looked at the last couple of games that Hawthorn have played, and that's just part and parcel of a preparation. You know, we always do our homework on opposition clubs. We respect the opposition and look at ways that we think we can do that. So no change this week.
Have you seen your own season, Kieren, this year? You seem to have built in some pretty good form of late.
Yeah, mate. You know, as I spoke before about midfield and variety, and I think that's probably a strength that we've got. And I've been able to go forward at times and play inside, play on a wing. So that's probably a strength of mine. But we've been able to adapt that and have, you know, guys like Hannah's go midfield and forward, and Tom Mitchell as well. So to be part of that mix, yeah, I've been pretty pleased.
Are you enjoying that sort of mix? Because, as you said, with Tommy Mitchell coming in, you can go forward.
Yeah, I know we all are. I mean, it just adds variety, and I suppose the burnout and physical toll you can take if you're continually playing inside and playing midfield, it can take its toll throughout the year. So, you know, at times if we can play forward and you know, obviously play well on the forward line, that's another thing. But you can just conserve a little bit more energy, and hopefully that'll pay dividends.
You've had a stranglehold on the city, obviously, for a long time. What's it like? Are you ready to start sharing the town with GWS?
Yeah, they've been all right, haven't they? Yeah, they're a good up-and-coming team. We know that. They've had top-end talent. They've recruited well, but we're still going to be enemies.
More and more though, the proposition of a Sydney v another Sydney team in the finals continues to grow though. The more wins they notch up.
That's great. That's great for football in Sydney. I think the speed of which they've been able to come up and be really competitive is, I'm sure the AFL would be wrapped with that. And as I said, to have a game in Sydney every week now, whether you come to a Swans game or a Giants game, it's going to do great for the grassroots of AFL football in Sydney and New South Wales, so it's positive.
With Buddy, he seemed to cop a lot of stink from his former teammates in the grand final last year, especially in that first quarter. Do you think he's got a point to prove?
No, I mean he'll prepare like he always does. It won't be any different for him. He's come up against teammates, blokes he knows, but I mean he's done it before, and he'll be enjoying it. He'll be wanting to get down there and have a win on the weekend. That's the main thing for us.
Surely you want to give it to him, mate.
You can ask.
It's
him
only
that.
natural. You've played there, and if you've copped some stick in the past from a player, you'd love to get under their skin.
You can ask him that.
Bet yourself.
For me?
Yeah.
What?
I'm just saying it was a tough loss last year.
Yeah, but
Grand final.
to be honest, it's done and buried. I mean, we spent a whole lot of time, as I said, dealing with the hurt and the disappointment of that. I've put it to bed. It's well and truly gone, and it's a new year now. So it's a game against a really, really top quality team, and we prepare like any other team, like Geelong on the weekend. Really good quality team. We'll prepare the same.
So what will it do for confidence then?
What will it do?
What will it do for confidence knowing you get one back over Hawthorn?
Well, we'll see after the game if we win. I think we certainly got confidence going into the game, so we'll see after that.
Obviously the win's significant, but seeing Hawthorn go 4-4 and potentially slip out of the 8, how significant is that to you guys? And obviously the rest of the competition.
Well, I mean, it's still a great side. It's not really significant. I think it just highlights how even the competition is. You can't afford to worry about games in advance now. I mean, it's you really have to deliver week to week, and the strength of teams coming up, such as the Giants and the Western Bulldogs and these sort of teams, means there's no easy games at all. So you really need to be preparing well and at your absolute peak.
Lake, Lewis and Smith might be late inclusions. They're 3 big ins for them, aren't they?
Yeah, huge ins, and they'll give their team a lot of confidence, and then 3 players that we certainly need to be aware of. Their experience, their leaders there, so yeah, it's big ins for them.
Still a big loss without Luke Hodge there.
Yeah, it is, but I mean they got players that can cover that. I mean Hodgie's their captain, so any team without their captain's going to be obviously missing him a little bit, but as I said, their balance of their team is so strong that they'll be able to cover him.